Okay, good. So, yeah, good morning. So today we'll go through this QTP. Okay, this is again this is not QA. I mean, this is more than QA actually. Okay, sometimes the requirement comes like 80% manual, 20% automation, 50% manual, 50% automation. So in that case, you also want to know about automation too, right? Sometimes it's the requirement, but for big companies, for large corporations, this would be a different field altogether. Okay, but not all. Okay, not everyone uses. Some people, manual people also. Sometimes they, your boss asks you to do this. Okay, so it might be the case. So I will go just through it. It's similar what we are doing, but here you are using a tool. Okay, so far what we are doing is manual, right? Talking application and start testing an application. Remember, we used to go through this and used to do this, right? This would be same, but here you're doing using a tool. That's the difference. So that's called automation. Okay. Now there is no more QTP. It's UFT, right? It's UFT, Unified Functional Testing. But the functionalities remain same, or if they get added, the new functionalities get added. But those things remain same. Okay. It might be appended with a new functionality or new them have been removed completely and add something better, so that would be the case. But the whole functionalities remain same. Okay, so here this is a regression part. Okay, this is normally done in the regression team. Okay, so normally done in the regression team, and you have to know a little bit here so that you understand what's going on with it. Okay. Okay, so here the process, the testing process. So first thing is you go is by recording. First you want to record it. So this is the case. You want to record, and you record only once and play many. Okay, you can play any number of times, right? You can edit all those variables, and we'll go through this parameterization and we'll see what's in there. But you have to record only once. That only once is important. So we can do that. Preparing to record. So you have to record. And then enhancing a test. That means once you record, the script is generated. Now we are talking about the script. Okay, the script is the code. Okay? All this code. So here QTP uses VB scripting. So all this code will be in the VB. Okay, so you want to enhance it. That means you want to add something, remove something. Okay, so that's called enhancing test. And then debugging. You have to, in some case you want to debug your script, then you can use this debugging. And then you run it and analyze the results. So it is automatically, once this QTP runs, okay, and once it's done, it stores the result in particular directory, okay, the folder, and you can view it. It's automatic. And reporting defects. Once this gets failed, let's say the test gets failed or something, it got stopped, you want to report it. So this is the process. Okay, you know what, let's see here. If you have this. Okay, so this will take time, but let's see here. Okay, so I have a similar tool like QTP. Now this is not QTP. This is from Selenium. Okay, you can try this in Selenium IDE. This is a Selenium IDE, which can install in the Firefox browser, and you can run that, right? Similar to QTP, and I use this tool called Eclipse. So Eclipse is a kind of what is that? It's an interface. Okay, it's interface to run your code. Okay, all this code is generated. Now you're not here. We're not completely talking about writing code or programming, but the code which is generated by the tool, like by UFT or Selenium, you want to use it, right? You want to use it, edit the code, and put it, put somewhere. For example, Eclipse. Eclipse is one of the examples, and run that code. Okay, generating that code is one thing, and running that code is another. So once you put that and run it, right, then you get the results. Okay, so we'll just go through here pretty quick. Take some time. So, okay, good. Now this is my code. Okay, so this is my code, and this is Eclipse. You know, you have a lot of options here to do this. Okay, and now this will be similar for the QTP too. Okay, QTP uses similar interface, not same. This will not be same. And this will be the code. Okay, here the code is on Java. Yes, Java. But that will be in VB. Okay, the difference between Selenium. Okay, you can Selenium supports lot of codes. Okay, you can import it in Python. You can import in Java. You can import it in many other languages. Okay, so this is in Java specifically. So this is my automation script. Okay. Now this doesn't run properly, but here is the thing. We'll try to run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, and okay, this doesn't run because this Firefox got updated with Quantum Firefox. So the Quantum doesn't support this. So that's the problem. Let's try to run. See what happens. Here is the option. You know what? Let's run. Okay, here. Just run it. Oh, so many options. See. Okay. So now let's see what happens here. So you see here is launching it. Got 36% completed. And here you see this console. You know, there's a console, and you see here what's going to happen. And now exactly what we're trying to do here is this invokes the Firefox browser automatically, goes to that particular website which is shown up here. Okay, now this doesn't work properly, the Firefox gets closed, but let's see here what happens to them. Okay, and then it enters all the information. So far we enter right name, first name, address, you know, all this, and clicks this button automatically. Okay, it clicks all these buttons automatically, and executes the test case. Okay, so let's see here. It should work partially. Oh, here you go. See this? It invoked this Firefox. You see here, but doesn't work. Oh, great. So, no. Okay. So this Firefox got opened, but gets closed immediately because it doesn't support. I have to see some fix for this. But this is how it is. Okay, it automatically enters that you know, URL here, and it runs automatically. Okay, so that's about the automation. This nothing is happening here, but okay, I was trying to put this information, but it gives an error. Yeah, it gives an error because this doesn't support this Firefox Quantum. I have to downgrade it to the old Firefox. Okay, there's a problem here, so maybe I have to work on that. So that's the case. Okay, so that's how you do it. Automation. This is how you do it. Put all the code. Okay, so so far we're not talking about this editing anything. Okay, we are not programming anything so far. We'll just keep it simple. We'll try to understand this. Coding will be done by someone else. There will be QTP developer, Selenium developer who will be putting this code. You need to pull out the script and run the script. That's your job, right? Simple, right? Just use this and run it. That's it. Okay. So okay, we took too much time for this, so we just close it. Okay, so this is a similar scenario, even if you are using QTP. So okay, so let's come back to here. So somebody asked, right? So does QTP comes with Java add-in? Oh, you know what? Yeah, this is an add-in here. Okay, so yes, you can add it separately. So the first question, right? Somebody asked, right? So does this QTP comes with Java? So there is an add-in actually. So you see here, there's an add-in. It doesn't come with Java. Okay, so because QTP recognizes, doesn't know all these languages. Okay, but there is an add-in for this so that it can identify the language. Okay, so that's the thing. But as a whole, you know, you cannot do anything with that. But you have to add in specifically, you know, this add-ins, plugins, right? So those are for additional usage. Okay, so it's like you're playing video. Okay, you're opening video, but QTP doesn't understand this video. But for that, you need to put an add in ActiveX and all those things. Then you can, okay, you can use this. Okay. So somebody has said, like, not learned about Java. You don't have to. I mean, we're not doing any programming here. Okay. But at the course of time, like, it's you have to learn, or you will, that's actually, you have to do it at one point of time. Not now, not today, but in the course of time, you have to know those, at least few of the languages, at least Python or Java, or such kind of things. But it's not really required at this point of time, because we are doing testing here, okay, and we don't require this programming at this point of time. Okay, so you don't have to know this. But for as a testing perspective, you only have to know the applications. So applications are designed with various languages. It can be Python, it can be Java, okay, it can be any other JavaScript, and HTML, and so on. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, so here here this recording modes. Okay, so how do you record? You have this option, 3 recording modes: is normal, analog, and low level recording. In the normal recording, what you do is normal recording, like buttons, clicking of buttons, okay, all those things, entering text and all this comes under normal recording. Analog recording is something which is, let's say you want to click a right buttons, okay. Let's take an example. So if there was an option of like right, see, if you see here, there's an option here, right? Here the options are different. And if I'm clicking this option, these options are different. So there might be some application, or there might be something which requires right button and see even these functionalities are working or not. So in that case, you want to use this lab recording. Okay, and there's also called low level recording. Here you have example. So these are the examples. So it's not really the same thing, but it's an example. Let's say you want to use this option like tab, okay, tab or some special characters. In that case, you want to go to low level recording. This is an example, okay. Don't take it literally, because there are a lot more things you can do in analog and low level, not just these 2 things. But this is just tend to, make it an understanding. So that's the example. And then you have this run modes. Okay, you can run it as normal and fast. Okay, so you can run it normal, or you can run it as fast. Okay. Okay. So let's see what's the interface here with QTP. Okay. Any questions so far? Let's see here. Oh yes. Okay, so here, let's see here. So this is the interface. Oh, it's good. Okay, so this is the interface of. I mean, this is the old. This is 9 version, but recently, you have this UFT12, right? So this is pretty old. So, but let's see here. Okay, let's find out what are the various options. You have this title bar. Okay, this is called title bar. Okay, and no more. In Windows 10, I don't think there's any more title bar. They changed it completely, but yeah, still this title bar will be there. Okay, this is the title bar. Then you have this menu bar. Okay, menu bar is where you can find all the options. That is file, edit, view, insert, and all this is menu. Okay, this menu. If you are not able to find anything else, you won't be able to find in that. Okay, so that's a menu bar. Then you have this file toolbar. It's kind of shortcuts. Okay, file toolbar is shortcuts. let's say you don't want to go everything for the menu bar, so there are some options here. Okay, so that's the file toolbar. Okay, and then you have this debug toolbar. Okay, if you want to debug and debug that your scripts, then you can use this debug toolbar. And then you have this testing toolbar. Okay, this is again shortcuts. Is important, where all the testing perspective is related to in testing toolbar. Okay, and then you have this action. It's called action toolbar. Okay, so we'll try to see what's the more about this action. Action is for the layman language, right? Action is like a worksheet, right? It's a worksheet. So what is that? That means if you have to put your code somewhere, right? Let's say you've recorded a script, all the script where you have to put somewhere. And you can call it as action. Okay, there you. So like Notepad, you have this Notepad, right? So worksheet where you do, but here it is integrated into this. Okay, that's called action. So it's a layman language. It is much more complicated than that. We'll see how we can do it. Okay, it's kind of worksheet. For now, you can take it. And this is test pane. Okay, this is the test pane. Now here we are looking on the keyword view. Okay, keyword view. There is two views: keyword view and export view. Keyword view looks like this, and export view. Did we see that in the for example in Selenium? Just we ran this Eclipse, right? So that's kind of export view where all the code is shown. Here you don't see any code here. Okay, but in export view you do. Then you have this data table. Okay, kind of Excel. I mean, Excel for QTP. It's not something Excel, but it's integrated for the QTP for all your variables, and put your variables and data into this data table. All this data, right? You want to run this script, and there's a lot of data, right? So we want to put it here, and this is active stream. So this is something which is screenshot. What kind of screenshot? It refreshes automatically once it moves into the page. Maybe the UFC they have removed this option, but still, I mean, but when you are doing, so this is called checkpoints. We go to this checkpoint. That means it's if you see this purple color, this purple color, that means it's trying to highlight that and see checking that particular field is there or not. Okay, that's called checkpoint. So we'll go to this checkpoints shortly, but so this is how it is. Okay, now we'll go to see here one by one, and this is file option where you can open, create new file. This is open if you want to open it, and this is save. Okay, the floppy icon is called save, and the print is all the things. Now we'll go to this. Now this is called quality center connection. Okay, this is quality center connection. Now you can use this for HPLM too. Now the reason for you having this, right? QTP or UFT is a client application. Okay, it's a client application. That means, what does it mean? That means it is installed in your system. Okay, you have to install, not you, of course, administrator. Administrator has to install that into the system. Okay, whoever QTP administrator or anyone responsible guy has to install that the system. Now, but let's say we have this QTP developer, right? They will be writing those code. All this programming is done by the developer, not you. You're a tester. So you have to put the script somewhere, right? Now, once that script is generated, you have to put script somewhere. Okay, you have this network drive. You can pull out this network drive. That's fine. It's okay. But there is an option like HPLM. You can also put scripts in that. Okay. So once you click on this, it that goes to particular URL. You put that URL and get the script on your test cases, which are your test cases, and beside these test cases we have these test scripts, and then pull out the scripts and it will be shown right in here. Okay. So that's how this is called connection. You are connecting with this quality center. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And this, you see this, this is called object repository. Okay, it's called object repository. Now, okay, so before going to this, okay, before going to object repository, you have to understand something. Okay, so okay, let me ask you this question. So, what is an object? What is an object in a software world? Okay, I'm not looking. Okay, I'm not looking at anything. Okay, you know, in hardware perspective, I'm looking as a software perspective. What is an object? Application. Okay, that's object. Okay. Now, I mean, you're giving an example. Now, I want definition. Yeah, application is an object. That's correct. Simple definition would be okay. It is an entity that takes place. Okay, close enough. Anyone else? Combination of variables, functions, and data structure. Okay, good. Okay, that's good. So yeah, that's close. That's pretty close. But okay, here's the thing. So object is something which has both properties and values. Okay, uh, it has what property and values. Okay, so let me take an example here. So okay, you know, you said application. Yeah, that's good. That's an example, and this application is pretty broad. So you know, we'll just go a little bit more into detail. Okay, let's look at this button. You see this button? Enter Gem Online. Okay, now that's an object. Okay, of course, everything is object. This text is also an object. Now, you know, this image is also an object. Not everything is an object. But here, what I'm trying to say here is, which contains both property and its value. Okay, now what does this button has property and value? Now, property is something that's a length. Okay, so here, will be a little bit here specific here. Okay, so you see this, you know, this length, okay, that's a property. And what's the value? Okay, it might be 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, okay, that's fine. Uh, and what is another property? Height, you see this height, okay, that might be okay, half centimeter or something like that. So that's a property. Value is, okay, we are talking in centimeters, but you know, something, some number like 2, that's a number, okay. And okay, now that's no, that's the thing. Now there's just many more property and values. Now let's take a title of this button. Now if QTP recognizes and you know based on object, so there are 3 objects here. See this? Even if I put this property and values, okay, so there are 3 objects with the same size, with the same length and same height. Okay, this doesn't have breadth. This is not a 3D button, so no breadth. So height and length. Okay. Now all the 3 are same. Now QTP doesn't know which one to click, right? Since QTP only recognizes with you know objects, okay, and you have to give some property and values for that object, right? To understand QTP to click on this or do something, click or move or you know. Maybe it is a drop down box, you know, you slide it, okay, so all those things. But here all the 3 objects properties are same. Now to identify it, you need a unique property, a unique value for that particular property, right? It needs unique value. That means here the title of this button is unique because title is, you see this, 3 different titles. That means title is Enter Gem Online. Okay, so to identify this QTP to click this button, it needs this property and values. So you need to put this unique property, that is enter GMO online. Okay. So it's good. Let's go to here. Let's go back to here. Okay. So what happens, right? So no, we'll come back to here. Okay. Okay. So what is this does? It stores all these properties and values. So this is called object repository. It stores all these properties and values. So far we discussed about these properties values, right? It stores everything in there. When you record it, all these properties and values get stored, so you don't have to do anything. It automatically moves on. Okay, that's about object repository. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So this guy, man with the hat guy. This is called object spy. Okay, now what happens, right? You don't know what the property and values, right? Yeah, nobody knows. And you want to know its values and all those things. So you want to click that man with the hat guy, and it's called object spy, and click on this button. It shows all the information, what is the property and what's the value. As a matter of fact, you can also see the code, but it's really not appropriate for a tester. So let's try to see here. So here we go. This is the code for that. Okay, so you see this, even this says, okay, all this is designed only with properties and values. What is the input type? It's button. Okay, this is the property, this is value. What's the name? Name is okay, they put as B submit, fine. And value is okay, the value for this title is enter GMO online. Okay, good. They're designed with JavaScript, so that's why it is JavaScript. Okay, on click, that means if you click on this, it goes into this particular. So that is the feature of that particular object. Now, as a tester, you don't want to do this because it's really not your job. It's a developer. But I just wanted to show you that all these properties and values will be there in the code too. But we are not supposed to see the code for testing. Okay, so that's the feature of this. Okay, let's go to the next. So now this is a debug toolbar. Let's say you want to debug your script and you want to place hold on some script and move it along this. You can use all this option. Okay, so this is a breakpoint. You want to break your script and run the script from there. All this you can do it right from here. And then you have this testing to the record. So this is important, right? This is where you actually record. Okay, so that's a very good question. Somebody asked it, right? So in automation, how would you write test cases? That's a very good question. So it's normally not the way we write like manual. Manual is more detailed. Okay, automation would be a little more. It will be high level. We don't go more detail into the particular objects, and we don't go it because everything is taken care by this tool. So if you want to write, you have to coordinate with this QA team, because this is once QA is completed, only then you can move to this automation. Okay, normally you don't go to automation just like that. Okay, you have to first follow the process, go to QA, and then go to the automation. So in that case, what you do is you want to coordinate with the QA and see what the test cases they have written. So already it will be there. In Rally, Jira, or someplace. You want to see those test cases and write test cases based on that. Okay, that will be pretty. If you have this 10 test cases, you might have at least for 4 or 5 test cases. That will get shortened because everything you're doing automation, so you'll not go in detail on this. Does it make sense? So you want to coordinate with them and see what the application is all about, and then you write your test cases based on what they have written, because test cases will be similar, but you want to short it out. Okay, you want to 10 test cases, you want to go is fine. So, and it will be more of a what you're trying to do, like you're running it and changing. When you're running it, what you're trying to test in that. So all those things. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to here. Now this is the record. You want to record it, okay? Normally you don't, but if you want to record it, run. Once you record it, the script gets generated, right? The BB script got generated, and you want to run it, okay? And see what's happening. And this is the action. This is the action, and you can split an action. This is splitting an action. This is disabled because you're not working on this. Once you click on this, it will get enabled. Okay, and the two things here, you see this two time kind of things. This is called start transaction time and end transaction time. Okay, so what it does, so let's say, you want to see, the pages. Let's say you want to put start time. You're putting the start time here, clicking this button, and you want to see some end time here. Let's say how much time does it take to move from one page to another? How much time and all those things in milliseconds or some seconds. Okay, how much time it's taking. So all this you want to record it in start transaction time and end transaction time from one point to another point. So it's like you're checking the granularity of that application from one point to another point, what it's trying to do. Okay, so you're trying to see the granularity of that particular application. Okay, so is debugging means fix the defect? Okay, somebody asked a question, right? Is debugging means fixing the defects? Okay, that's a very good question. Here, particularly in this scenario, no. But as a developer point of view, yes. If they do debugging means, that means, yeah, they are trying to fix some issue. Some issue, it's not necessarily any defect. There might be code, there might be unit testing. So developer will be doing a lot of unit testing. So yes, debugging means fixing some issue. Not exactly a defect, because if there's a defect, they have to do a little differently. Okay, but this is a little bit more. If you're looking at the developer point of view, then they will be looking for each and every code. Okay, so let's see here. You are seeing even the code here, right? Let me give more detail about this, right? So debugging means, let's say I want to debug this. Okay, now this will go here. Go back to thing. Now let's say I found some issue here. Okay, I found something here. Something is wrong here. So I'm debugging it. Okay, I'm debugging this one. So that doesn't mean that I'm fixing a defect. Okay, the defect might be something else. Okay, it can be a defect. It may not be a defect. So yes, you're actually trying to fix something which is actually should not show up here, or something wrong with it. Okay, that's what it means. So that's what about debugging. Okay. So any more questions? So let's finish this pretty quick. So here you have these two things disabled, that is high level recording and low level recording. Oops, sorry, analog recording and low level recording. Okay, two things. So here, so let's go to the test pane. Test pane, you see this is an item, that means there's an objects here. Okay, those are objects, and what operations are you performing with that object? That means if it's a button, you have to click, right? That will be click. And if it is a radio buttons, that means it will be, oh wait, should be set. Sometimes the radio buttons are set. Okay, and okay, this for password is secure because password is encrypted, and nobody knows the password normally. Okay, whenever it gets, so it's set secure. Okay, and if it's a drop down box, then you call select. Okay, so these are the operations. What are you trying to perform with that particular object? This is an object, and what operations are you trying to perform with that object is shown here, and what exactly the value for that particular object. Okay, so let's say username, right? Username is a static field, and for the for the field value, you're putting Mercury. So that's a, okay. This is a value. Okay, And password, so something password is encrypted, so you don't see the password, it's encrypted. So that's how it is, okay? This is a value for that particular operation you're performing. And this is the documentation, this is what you're trying to see here, what's happening here. Okay, and let's go back to here. This is our data table, which you can put a lot of data here, okay? Once you're trying to test for parameterization, specifically, because when you're doing parameterization, right, that means record once, play many. If you're doing play many, that means you're trying to change the values for that, okay? These are the values, okay? You want to change, put some variable and tell QTP here that, you know, for this variable, this is the values you have to consider, these are the particular values, okay? That's what you'll be doing here. That's more of a parameter. So we'll go through that. So, and this is the active screen. This is kind of screenshots. Kind of screenshot moving, and this is actually the checkpoint. So we'll go through that. Okay. So somebody asked the question, right, is this recording for developer to see the performance of an application? So the question is, you know, a little bit unclear for me. So this is, you know, not for performance, okay? This is for functional testing. But here what you're doing is automated. You're doing all automation here. This is, I'm not talking about this any load runner. We're talking about this QTV. Load runner is for performance. Does it make sense? And again, this involves both, not just developer, not just tester. See, here's the thing. So when, let's say if you're working in a big corporation, let's say Amazon or Google, they might have their own, you know, BA for this, okay, BA for this QTP, you know, BA for all this. And, you know, they will be having automation developer, okay, automation developer, automation architect, automation manager, you know, all this will be a big world altogether. Okay, for big corporation, that will be a whole complete world. So, but small companies may not, you know, use that much, you know, they'll be a little limited, okay. So, okay, any more questions? So let's go back here and finish this. So we'll go to here pretty quick. So object repository, right? We already talked about this, right? So here, so this is how it looks like an object repository. You have this type or type. What is the property and its value? Okay. And this type shows, is the button, is it static text, is it dynamic, or is it field value, and all those shows in the type. And this is the, you know, it's a property, this is the values you show. And you can also add an object by yourself, you know, you can also add new object for yourself, okay. Or you can use this object spy right here. So this is what object repository contains. Right. So now this is, now you see this is the parent objects, and these are the, you know, child objects. Okay, these are all child objects. Okay. So let's go to here. Pretty quick. Object spy. Okay. So that's what, right? If you use this object spy, once you click this button and click on that OK button, or like we, you know, you see, right? Click. So what is? Okay, let's say this enter GM online button. After clicking this, okay. After clicking this button, you want to click the enter GM online. You will get all the properties and all the values right shown up here. It will not be just one or two, it will be many, okay, it will be like tens of 20s, okay, tens of 20s properties, that those values, because you want to know what those properties and values contain, and you want to see, and based on that you can, and you see this user interface, you know, you see this at the back, you know, all these options, very similar to Eclipse, you know, similar to Eclipse, so Eclipse is similar to this one. but only difference is Eclipse is open source and this is not. Okay. And I don't think Eclipse, okay, maybe Eclipse also works on VB scripting. You have to install some plugin and see that it can work on VB scripting. You can also do that with Eclipse. They have very broad options for Eclipse too, actually. Okay. So this is Object-SPY. Let's go to here. So, okay, so how does QTP recognize this object? Three, it has a mandatory properties, SST properties and Adler and identify. But only few properties are required to uniquely identify an object. Let's say you want to give only two properties, that's fine. In that one has to be unique. Okay, so for example, right, title of this button. Title is unique enough. So you don't see this enter Geom Online title in anywhere on the page, right? But if you're giving any property, it is length or height, then these three buttons have the same length and size, same sizes. Okay, so QTP don't know what to do with that. It throws an error. So in that case, you want to use this uniquely. So that's what it means. You want to few properties, but uniquely identify an object. And once you put that and tell the QTP to click this, it will click. Okay. Let's go to next, synchronization. So why do we need the synchronization? Okay, so let's see here. So what happens, right? Let's say you are testing the application through QTP, and okay, and what happens? Let's say there was some server issue. Okay, the server is slow, and we know it's a hardware issue, not software. Okay, server is slow. So it takes some time to move from one page to another. Okay, so here it's fast. Okay, let's say here, doing this. So you see this, it's taking some time, right? Now, so what happens, right? So let's say it takes more than 5 seconds, so 6 seconds, because server issue, we know it's the application is slow, and but QTP doesn't know, right? QTP doesn't know, and what happens? It waits for 1 or 2 seconds and says that no, this application got failed, but really it's not failed. Okay, it is slow. Application is slow. So what you want to tell QTP is to wait. Okay, so there's one code line here to wait. Wait 10 means it waits for 10 seconds, right? 10 seconds. And once you put that one line code, it waits and moves to the next line of code. Okay, that's the reason you need this synchronization. You want to synchronize with the application and the QTP. Application might be slow, application might be fast. QTP will have to wait. Okay, so in that case, you want to use synchronization option. Does it make sense? Any questions? So somebody asked, right, how do we know the delay because of application or from the machine? How do we know it's because of application of the machine? So we don't know. Okay, so but it's like, so if you're working with those team people, right, they will be having more information on this. Okay, because they know they're working with lab. See, if you're working with this automation people and performance people, right, you will get more information. So how the application is, because they will be directly getting a lot of information from the management perspective and all those things. So that's how you want to get that thing. Okay, because normally, is it from server point of view or is it from software point of view? Okay, so normally you don't want to get software point of view, because again, see, if anything happens in the automation, the guy who get hold of it is QA guy. Okay, QA guy is actually get questioned, because if you are getting bugs in automation, your boss will ask you, Why not in QA? Okay, why in regression? So okay, so that will be the question for QA guys. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so we don't require this. No, just okay. So we don't, so you don't want to get much issues in regression testing. Okay, so if it's software application, it has to be get fixed in QA, not in regression. So any issues has to be from something else, not from QA point of view. Does it make sense? Because if there is any issue from software, you have to open bug. I mean, you have to open defect and assign developer for that. But okay, any more questions? Okay, so here's a small code here. How to synchronize it? Let's say this is. No, we'll go through this actually. This code. Now we'll talk about this code a little more better. So this what happens, right? What you're trying to put here is, okay, normally what you'll be putting is all property and this value. You saw that code too, right? In the see this in the code in website, right? Developer point of view. So similarly, this will be like similar. Okay, I'm not saying that because this is on VB. Here this is a window. Window means anything like pop-up. You see this pop-up, dialog box, Windows. All this is similar name. Okay, here is called window. Okay, and obviously we are using this client application because you are saying this window. Okay, that means a client application. Okay, good. Okay, so you don't have to be any client of web application, but window can be happen in the client as well as the web application. Okay, so as of now we don't know, since this is a client application. I know because I know this has been here, but it can be also web application. There is no way to tell just by this code say this is web application and client application. Okay, win buttons, all are win buttons, so all these are called win buttons. Okay, because this is Windows and this is a button, so that's called win button. Okay, and what's the button name? This button name will be right here. Update order is the button name. Okay, so that's what you will be putting in this, all this in the code. Okay, all this will be there in the code, will be there here. Okay, so that's we will go through this more better. We'll see how to click and button. Okay, how to click and how to write a code for the clicking and OK button. Okay, we'll just go through that. Okay, checkpoints. Remember checkpoints? We've seen this. Okay, there are plenty of checkpoints. So this is manual verification. So this checkpoints is done by the QTP to verify manually. We have to verify it. See that highlight the text get highlighted and see that that's. That is very you can see that option or see that value or a button there. Okay, so that's a checkpoint. So here there are various checkpoints. If you don't know what checkpoint it is, that's called, you can use the standard checkpoint. Okay, for anything you can use it. Then you have this image checkpoint. If you are using image like this one, this image, right? So this image is called image checkpoint. Then you have this table. Okay, this is table. So okay, now you don't see table here. This one, name the table here. You see this table? Now you see this 498 by 109. This is a table. Okay. Now this is a table. So this is, if you want to use that checkpoint, you can use it. Since as a QA point of view, of course, I don't even know there's a table here, but obviously you don't want to use this. You want to use this one table. Okay, this is a better option because here you can view this. Okay, this is invisible. This is invisible table. You cannot see this, but still there is a table. Okay, so here this is a better better option to see this checkpoint to this one because this is viewable. Okay, so we want to use stable checkpoint. You can use stable checkpoint, And page checkpoint, if you want to checkpoint the whole page, okay. So somebody asked try to email the slides. I mean, I don't have to because all this is there in the Google Drive. Okay, so everyone, so okay, somebody asked this question, right? So can you email the slides? No. Why? Because everything is there in the Google Drive. Let me show you pretty quick here. If you don't find, then you have to come back to me, okay? So, but I mean, I've given access to Google Drive. I hope everyone got access, okay? Let me show you pretty quick. Where is that, okay? So once you get this, okay, okay, there's a lot of information. I understand that people got, I know it's a lot of confusion here, a lot of things here you don't know. So okay, that's fine. But here, if you want the slides, okay, specifically go to. Oops. Directory number 26. Just, yeah, let's see. Okay, directory number 26, QA class, and once you go there, you find right here. Okay. Oops. QTP1 PPT series. Oh, I thought somebody deleted. Okay, good. So this 2 slides you have this. Okay. So there's no reason to send me. I hope everyone have got access to Google Drive. Everyone have this. Okay. So if you're looking for the slides, you will be in this place. Okay. There's a lot more information here, but you can view it anytime, free time, or whenever you're free, you can use this. Okay. So any more questions? Okay. So let's go back to here, checkpoints. So page checkpoint, when you want to checkpoint the whole page, okay, it's called checkpoint, page checkpoint. Text checkpoint, okay. So you want to, use this text checkpoint, you can use this text, this is GMO text, you can use the checkpoint. Text area checkpoint, okay. So that means you want to checkpoint this area of this text, this text, text area checkpoint. Then you have bitmap checkpoint, it's similar to image, okay. Kind of image thing, and then database checkpoint. If you're working with various tables, ETL perspective, now you cannot automate this ETL completely. Okay, if it's less records, let's say 100 records, 200 records, you can use this QTP and see this database checkpoint. You can do that, but if you have millions of records, there's no way to use this QTP. This is clearly not appropriate because it doesn't load. Okay, it's not meant for that. So these are the various checkpoints here. Okay, so let's go to next pretty quick. So this is how it's showing, right? We see this. This is the checkpoint. This is getting highlighted here. You can use this. You can use this right click here and put this standard checkpoint, or you can use that one. Or you can go to menu bar. Go ahead and click on menu bar, and you can also use from there too. Okay, it's an option. Okay, so the regular expression can complete. Okay, let's talk about this parameterization here pretty quick. Okay, parameterization again. Okay, so this parameterization is normally done for values. Okay, now let's say there's a value here. Okay, now let's do this. Okay, let's click here. Okay, so let's say I'm recording this application. Okay, I'm recording this application, and let's card number. Oops, just got changed. Oh, suddenly got changed. So it's not okay, so we use this. Okay, so once you got this, you put this expiration here. Okay, and click on this and place an order. Okay, so my order went through and everything is good. Okay, But I've recorded this. Let's say I've recorded this, all the data, all those is being there. Like for example, you've seen this in Eclipse, right? If you want, you can just pretty quick check it out. Okay, so we've recorded this all, and all the script is generated for you. And but I've recorded only for one person. Okay, that's me. That's only one person. But then I'm like, let's say, want to do for 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. Okay, now it's different names, right? Different names, different addresses, okay? Different states, different zip codes, so a lot of things. So in that case, you want to run. So what you want to do, you want to parameterize. So these are the constants. You want to put it as a variable and assign this all these variables, okay? So this like here. So here don't have this parameterization. So yeah, do what on that. Okay, so this here you don't have this parameterization, but so that's what it's parameterization, okay? To drive multiple iterations, so then you get multiple iterations here, okay? So let's see here how we do this, okay? Here as a keyword view, right? You can use this. Let's say this is a value, okay, right? So this is a value London. So we are trying to parameterize this London and put some variable there, okay? And this once you do this, this option shows up, okay? It's an option where this is a constant. What you want to do is click on this radio button parameter and put this data button, and what you want to name it. Once you can name it, and these two options like global sheet or local sheet. Okay, you remember that's Excel kind of thing for this. Then now you have to use that for this parameterization. Okay. Okay, good. Now it's showing here. Okay, so this is London. What you want to do is you're changing it to name. You're changing from London to from, and you're putting here from, and all the variables are you're putting here, right here. Now this runs for multiple iterations. So not just me, can run for multiple people, 10 people, 20 people. Put all the information here on the on the sheet, on the Excel sheet, global sheet, and run it. Okay, it runs for one iteration, second iteration, third iteration, and so on. That's about the parameterization. And here it gets this report generated for you. Okay, once this gets report generated, you can see this how many has failed and how many has passed. Okay, now okay, so let's go to okay actions. Now, so actions. We've seen this action, right? There's two types of action: regular, that is non-usable, and reusable. Okay, now what happens, right? Why do you want to use reusable? Let's say you are writing some code. Okay, so you're writing some code, and what happens is you want to call this script every time you write this new script. Okay, you want to use it as library file. You just put this library file, dump into library, and you can reuse it. So that's called reusable. And regular is one-time use. That means you're using it, that's it, done. That's called non-reusable. That's a regular. And then you have this two types, that is locally and externally. Locally means you're using it in your local environment. Externally, you're using in external environment. Okay, so you can, and this is classified only for reusable. For using it, reuse. Okay, this action. You want to call an action. Now you use this. See that option now. And this we call as split an action. You can also split an action. Okay, so. Okay, so yeah, this is the option you perform. You can see here again. This menu bar has this option. If you want to call a new action, this menu bar has this option. Okay, that's shortcut. You can use a shortcut. If you're not able to find it, everything will be there in the menu bar. Okay, just go to the insert and see this option. Call new action or copy the existing action. Okay, let's go to the next pretty quick. Okay, so let's go to here recovery scenarios. Okay, so I'll just take 5 to 10 minutes. Is everyone okay with that? So we'll just finish this. Okay. So here in the recovery scenario, right, there's three options. You can use a trigger event, recovery operation, post recovery run option. Okay, let's take an example here. Okay, so let's take a trigger event. Okay, now what happens? You're running this QTP is running the script. Okay, it takes like 40 hours. Takes 40 hours or 50 hours. Takes a lot of time. So now you're not going to sit there for 40 hours. You just put that script, put and run, and you move to do the other thing. Okay, you do this manual or do any other thing. Okay, you're not sitting there for 40 hours there. But QTP is running. Okay, QTP is running that script. Okay, so what happens is, let's say there's some pop-up window shows up because some server issue or really not an option. I mean, that's not really there in the application and it's not important. Some server issue which is showed up from nowhere. But we already know it's a server issue because server being slow these days and something like that. Pop-up window shows up from nowhere. Now QTP doesn't have that code in it, so it thinks it's a bug and it just the script gets failed. Now this has to run for 40 hours. If it gets for 38 hours, a lot of time is wasted, right? Now you have to rerun that whole script once again. So you don't want to do that. Okay. So what you want to tell is trigger event. So what you're trying to say to the QTP is, if you get anything like this, stop that and run the next code. Okay, you don't want to worry about this code. We'll fix this code. It's a different thing. But stop it and run to the next code. Okay, so here's the thing. You can create using recovery scenario wizard. Let's say we took an example of pop-up window. Okay, there might be other option in the trigger. So object state, test run, application crash. Even if the application is crash, you're telling QTP to wait or something and run the next script or run the next code. Okay, so that's what you're trying to do in this trigger event. Okay, so you're telling QTP to don't worry about it. Okay, go to the next code and run the rest of the script. So that's the recovery scenario option. Okay, so let's go to a little bit on descriptive programming. Okay, let's pretty much finish this by a little bit of descriptive programming here. Okay, so why do we need this descriptive programming? So far we just use run and play, right? Run and record and play. Okay, that does all the code generate for you. You don't have to do anything. It's simple. All the code is just you need to use those buttons and that's it. Code is generated for you. But that doesn't work every time. If there is a dynamic application, no, that doesn't work. Why? Because this objects keeps changing. This property is changing, value is changing. That's really tiresome. All the objects which is stored in the object repository gets outdated. New application, there's a lot of so many things, and you cannot do that. So what you want to do is you want to use descriptive programming. That means kind of hard coding. Okay? That means you are actually coding by yourself. Okay. Now let's see here. Okay. Let's take an example here. So let's go to Firefox pretty quick. Now let's say here let's try to understand this small code here. Okay, small code, and now let's say there's some pop-up window. Okay, this is some pop-up window, and go to that. Okay, so now what I'm trying to see here, click on this. I'm clicking on this. Okay. Okay. Let's say this is a pop-up window. Okay. Okay. So no, this is a pop-up window. Okay. Now what happens is we are trying to see what the code is allowed. So we want to tell QTP to click this button. This button. Okay. So you are telling that QTP to click this. How do we do this? Let's see here. So now this is a window. Okay, now this is a window. Okay, great. Okay, this is supposed to be a title here, error, but there's no title here, so let's not worry about it. Okay, so that is the error. That means it's an error. And win button. So it's all is on. This is win button because you're using Windows and win button, so that's called win button. Now you're entering this property as text and value as okay. That means you're trying to say this is the property you want to, focus on this. Okay, and we are also giving one more property, that's width. What's the value for this is 50. Now dot click, that means you are telling QTP to click this. Okay, so what we have done so far, we have just put this one line code helps you to click this button. Some error pop-up window, no? Okay, so that's just an example actually. If you want to do this descriptive programming, this is how you have to do. Okay, so any questions? So this is pretty much. If you want to know more about QTP, you can go. There's one. Actually put it in syllabus. If you see the syllabus. So this is one website, qtp.blogspot.com. So if you want to know more, you can go ahead and see the tutorials. There's a lot of tutorials here. I've also included in this syllabus too. Okay, and if you see here, you can go ahead and start, from tutorials and see if you can understand. So there's a lot of tutorials for this. If you are interested, you can go here. So 82. Now there it was about only 40, something double. Okay, and there's a lot more things. You can try scripts by yourself. Okay, you can do this. So if you are interested, you can do this. Okay, and but yeah, unfortunately, you don't have to. So tool you can download from HP. If your budget gets only trial version, that's for only for 30 days. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so this is one of the you can, but it's good for knowing more information if you're interested. Okay, so that's pretty much about QTP. Any questions? So Monday is our last class. Okay, so yeah, somebody done homework, right? So somebody done homework. So that's good. If people who have not done homework, okay, they can do because they have 2 more days, right? That's Saturday and Sunday. Monday, we'll go through this certification, see if we can help. And also, we'll also discuss about this TFS, Team Foundation Server, and see if it makes any sense. And, so that's also, already sent, that's also a test management too. Okay. So, so data warehousing on 26th. Oh, wow. Okay. So 26th is last. So maybe you want to check with. Okay, let me check with that. So it should be 27th actually. But let me check. Okay. If not, see what we can do. Okay. Let me check with Tagore. Okay, and see how we can proceed with that. Okay, because the problem is there was one holiday actually, right? That's the reason it got delayed for one day. Otherwise, yeah, it would have been cut right order. This 23rd is supposed to be in by today, but since that the holiday, that got extended. So okay, so let me check. Okay, also check with your respective HR manager. I know you got the emails, right? But also check with them. Okay, it's better to check also with your respective HR manager that you have this QA class on this. Can we move to the next day? Okay, data warehousing can we move to the next day, or how can we do this? Okay, check with your respective HR manager. So that should be uh, that should be okay. Meanwhile, also we'll check, see if what can you do in this. So okay, so if okay, so if no questions, can we close this class for today? Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see if I check. If once I checked it, maybe I'll send an email. Okay, see if if we can move that class one day ahead, so one day postpone. So let's say let me check and I'll send an email. Okay, so that should be good. Okay, thank you guys.